Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Settle It on the Screen for February 27th. What's wrong with that piece of paper?
I don't know.
Welcome to Settle on the Screen, the commentary show about the Twin Galaxies scoreboard. I am Michael Soroka, along here with Nick Houselander.
Hey, Mike.
Glenn, our other co-host, couldn't make it tonight.
Damn it, man.
But we got a lot of personalities here to inform you about the world of gaming, the competitiveness. We have two guests tonight. We have Mikey McByran from the ever-popular show Ice Pilots NWT. He's going to be talking about a documentary that, of course, we are just fanboys about.
We're very
NHL 94. I know you guys are sick of tiring. I promise we're not going to talk about it. Maybe until
Can I pull it out?
Yeah, you can pull it out. Oh, that sounds bad. We'll get into that shortly. We'll bring him on screen here in a second, and also Mason Cramer join us in the second half. He might be joining us here any time now in the Skype array. We're going to talk about a Super Mario Bros. 3 Extreme Settings world record. We'll try to show some highlights for it tonight. If you have any questions for our guests, please sign into the Skype. Yeah. We got some channels open, and so we're excited. It's awesome. We got guests this week.
Yes, man.
We double loaded.
Right.
So to introduce them, you ready, Mike?
You ready?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, look at that.
Smoke everywhere.
Oh, hey guys.
Oh, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Well, thanks for having me.
So, we'll kind of do a little intro here. We'll talking about there's a documentary coming out that you're making.
Yes.
Talked to us a few days ago about that. It's called Slated Heroes. Just give us a brief synopsis, and we'll do some world records, and then we'll come back to you.
Basically, what it is the main question of why would someone make a documentary about NHL 94? I don't really have to explain to you guys. You guys
why
are,
not?
The movie's for us to watch.
Yeah. I was told it was made specifically for us, right?
Yeah, in the inner turmoil. But which one's Billy Mitchell?
What?
Huh?
Oh, him. Yeah. And a compliment, actually. He's way better than video games. You guys know that.
Well, who's he?
Well,
some guy you've never heard of.
You're Brian Q.
Oh, man, come on.
I'm joking.
Yeah, so I've been traveling all over North America, finding people in stories about NHL 94, current NHL players, past NHL players, designers, guys that play online, NHL94.com, you guys, pretty much scouring everywhere to get stories. And it's been, believe it or not, pretty easy. There's a lot of people out there and a lot of stories to tell.
Yeah.
How long have you been shooting so far?
Well, I've been shooting since, I'd say...
There he is.
Hey, all right, man.
Hi, Mason. How you doing?
What's going on?
Well,
hi, doing all right. I'm trying to work out computer issues. Sorry.
okay. Cool. Don't worry about it,
man.
We just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, so I've been shooting since about the first week of January, and it's almost March, I think, now.
Yeah, it's 27th of February.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do days meaningless at
No,
this point?
I had no clue what day it was. I've been Arizona, Calgary, Vancouver, New Jersey, New York, Maine, Toronto, Ottawa, here, Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this has been awesome. It's been nonstop. Actually, I didn't really know about you guys too much until Michael sent me a message on Facebook, said, hey, I'm an NHL 94 guy, and I said, well, I guess I'm going to Detroit. And here I am.
That's so great. Yeah, and we were talking earlier about it. Obviously, you're from Canada. You weren't sure that NHL 94 was even going to be like known in the States.
Yeah, for sure. I thought I was going to make basically a Canadian chess documentary. That's why I think NHL 94 is just like chess in Canada. And
Hockey, drinking beer.
Hockey, drinking beer.
It's true.
And,
in the best way possible.
Little did I know, the story is, south of the border. It's a true, I wouldn't say an American story, but it's a weird Canadian-American co-op adventure. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, well, that's awesome. And I mean, we obviously cannot wait.
Yeah, like I said, you were talking about things about what you've done so far, and I plugged my ears when you're talking to my wife because
you're so funny.
Because this is a film for me to watch. I'm not.
You're not into the spoilers.
If I somehow make it in your film, great, that's cool. But there's still things I want to know, but I want to know it by being the viewer instead of somebody helping or finding out. I don't want the spoiler.
Yeah,
so,
and there's a lot of twists and turns. Like at first, it's a sports game, right?
Yeah.
It's a sports game, but the designing, the backstory, the origin story of what it becomes, the whole, basically, like Christmas Carol, Christmas past, Christmas present, Christmas future. really is part of the whole allure of this game. And why do people think it's the best video game of all time? I do.
So do I.
You're pretty close. Maybe Sonic 1 and 2.
No, Sonic. It's tough. I want to say it is, but
Come on, Sonic 2's definitely better than Sonic.
Okay, it's a different subject. But obviously, my favorite sports game, like I said, I talked about this earlier. NHL '94. You don't have to be a hockey fan to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna kind of get to the maintenance tonight, real quick. We'll come back. I know we got a few more questions for you, and we definitely. I know you have some questions for our. Super Mario Brothers 3 world champion, an amazing score, an unbelievable commentary track. I like to compliment you on, Mason, because it's so entertaining to watch your gameplay, and you could mute the audio, and then I've actually was trying to watch some of it, and I just listened to the audio.
I was gonna say,
a while.
You almost would just rip the audio and listen to it like an iPod or something like that.
Because I can imagine what you're doing, and it's just like he's just instructing us how to do it and doing it at the same time, and didn't fail. Would you crush it by 3 million points? The previous score?
The previous score was 4.9 million. I got 7.2.
Damn. Okay, so about 2.8, something like that. My math's pretty bad. So, so let's get to the new ones real quick. I only got a few graphics. I'm gonna read it. Ran out of time this week. I'll let these two read them. Go ahead, Nick.
First off, we got Eric Schaefer from Houston, Texas, USA. TI-99 Tournament Tombstone City NTSC. 5 life limit points 138,650. Impressive. This is plus TI-99. I mean, we've gotten a couple of those so far, which is actually kind of sweet.
Is that a calculator?
No, it's a computer.
It's a computer.
Oh.
It's like the ones after. Yeah, like
I was thinking
TI-88.
TI-83 Plus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, that's impressive.
It was made by Texas Instruments.
And the graphics, dang.
Playing it on, so.
Okay, so here, I'll give my chance here. New world record, TurboGrafx 16. We got Soldier Blade points, 2-minute mode, 142,500. And that comes from Bredden O'Down from Auburn, MA,
Massachusetts.
Mainland America, USA. I'm Canadian, so mainland America.
And
USA.
I love the iron-on ship you made there too.
I don't know if he made it, but I said, give me a profile pic. He's like, give me the thumbs up, which is the ship in the game, and that's another cool game. My buddy Josh has the TurboGrafx. I think he needs to own. Oh, you've played it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never played it. So, congratulations to him. I love seeing the TurboGrafx world records.
We got Andrew Mee from Real Wales. Gosh, I've only read this like 3 times in this week. Railways in the United Kingdom. Nintendo Wii, House of the Dead, Overkill, Story Mode, 1 player, 123,275 points. How many? He's got quite a few records already so far.
Well, he has lots of records, and like I said,
he's the new system.
He's the ultimate submitter. He has a lot of inaugural world records, kind of set the benchmark. But this record itself, very fun game to watch. Very vulgar game for the Nintendo Wii.
Oh yeah! Really?
Oh
on
yeah!
The Nintendo?
Oh yeah! Well, yeah. I mean, it's rated, mature for the Nintendo.
Oh,
but the amount of swearing,
kidding,
unbelievable. I was watching this one, like, damn. But he did a great score. Like, this isn't just an inaugural. He beat some other
Sweet.
scores.
Oh, that's good.
Congratulations to him. There's still probably another 20 world records this week by him. The ultimate gamer.
Who we got next?
Oh, we got John Barrett from Detroit, Michigan.
Hey, what's up, boy, baby?
That's where we're from. Or, I mean, we're at. I feel like Detroiter.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're here.
Okay, so we got a new world record. This is on the Odyssey 2. Yes! It's the P.T. Barnum's Acrobats.
Pretty sweet game.
Is that a pretty good one?
Oh, yeah.
And that's an NTSC record. Random Shield, 1,085 points.
Congratulations. I feel better now. I'm not the only one in Detroit that has an Odyssey 2.
Oh, you guys should,
I know, man, because I got a ton of games. It's a great system, really, very underrated. Oh, I forgot you're not reading me. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What is that? Greg Denify from St. Peter's. We just said it.
MO is
Missouri.
Moose
Jeez,
Jaw.
oh, Pete. I actually looked this up. St. Peter's, Moose Jaw, Missouri. Atari 2600, Night Driver, Game 1, A, 81 points. This is a game I actually haven't played for the Atari.
And this is, I like to say, this is definitely achievement because it looked like 80 was the max out score humanly possible.
Ooh.
There's about 4 or 5 different people who got 80 points.
Yeah.
And probably from 2010 through 2007. Don't quote me. I don't have this stuff.
2010 through 2006.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
backwards.
That's how I.
Okay, all right.
I'm
That's
backwards.
weird.
But him, you got that extra little bit of distance in the game because you get a timer. It's a pretty quick game, and so he inched it out, got that extra few meters to get that extra point. So congratulations to him. It's fun to watch. It's a great one. So congratulations to him. I'm going to read a few other ones here. I didn't have time to make the graphics. I apologize. They'll be in our other version.
Nice call.
I know.
Jeez.
There's only so much time in the world, and I'm losing my place here. I'm sorry.
What else we got?
Hey, can we restart this? That
oh yes,
we're stuck on.
Oh no! What happened to Chase?
You pulled it out.
Oh, I pulled it out. That's
you
right.
pulled it out way too early.
That was kind of sweet, actually.
So as you guys are doing stuff, I could probably just play.
You totally can.
You totally
just play.
can.
Oh yeah.
Like this is next level stuff here. Really.
No, it isn't. It's not. It's a little tough because the screen is a little small, but I think you'll be all right.
That's okay.
I'll just read a few more here. Impressive score by Ethan Daniels. Pac-Man Championship Edition DX in the dungeon. 5-minute score attack. One of the greatest modern arcade classic mix-up with a score of 2,212,100 points to Ethan Daniels. Obviously, those Pac-Man Championship Edition games are very popular. I know it's going to be pushing up and down.
It's entertaining to watch, I can tell you that.
Oh yes, very, very attention. I'm just going crazy. Another world record from Brandon Mears, probably from Roscoe, Texas, is my assumption. Nintendo 64. No, this is a different Mears.
Oh,
this
really?
Is probably a brother or something.
Oh,
I'm trying to
dang.
contact you guys before
cool.
the show, but Mortal Kombat 4, fastest completion on the Master 2 level of 6 minutes and 59 seconds. Congratulations to Brandon. That was a really fun score. Personally, for me, I love Mortal Kombat. Let's see, where's the other one? I have one more I wanted to read. I'm sorry, guys, for this. Apologize. Xbox 360, Namco Museum Virtual Arcade. Congratulations to Ryan Sullivan of Columbus, Ohio, is my memory. Is where he's from. 227,160 points on Dig Dug Arrangement, which is a really good. It's a really good, redo of a classic game.
Dig Dung, that's a different
Okay,
game. That's something you do in the backyard with your dog.
More of a this isn't a world record. I guess it's a tie of a world record. Congratulations to Matthew Felix. We read his name quite a bit. He's submitting a lot. A max out score on Star Fox for Super Nintendo, tying a few other gamers. Congratulations to him. And there's more, of course. Please go to the Twin Galaxies website, go to Accepted, and you can see all the world records. If you want to submit a world record, find your favorite game and register today. And actually, we'll go back to you, Mikey.
Yeah,
you actually submitted you submitted a score.
You did, man.
So yesterday is my first time actually competing on the Twin Galaxies. I'm pretty excited. I'm a huge King of Kong fan, and that part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now is because of that movie. I kind of wanted to make the Canadian version, which was NHL '94.
Yeah.
Now I know it's
It's more than just
it's more in Canada. It's world.
I was gonna say it's worldwide.
I got guys in Mexico, guys in Finland.
That's awesome.
It's going amazing. So we sat down in the studio here, headquarters.
Yep.
And
Yes. Absolutely.
Twin Galaxies
Settle it
Live
up.
East.
Yeah,
I guess you wanna call it.
TG East. Yeah.
we sat down and I played a game, and I did what King Raff, who has the record right now.
Yep.
Which is
Hi, King. You're in.
What
He's
up?
in the chat tonight. Thanks for watching
Yeah.
us.
Raff's in there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh hey.
He's in the chat. King Raph.
Oh hey, King Raff. So I used kind of what I learned. You do Anaheim versus All Stars West. And of course, I chose All Stars West, and I went in and
So that'd be pretty rough going.
and we did it live. I had no practice. We shot it all.
One take?
Yeah, it was one take.
One take. We shot it for the documentary and the submission, so it's kind of a dual thing.
Yeah.
And I got I scored 23
goals.
Don't spoil it.
I mean, I scored 71 goals. No, I'm just joking.
Maybe he broke it, maybe he didn't.
let it
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, okay, I won't. We did kind of, but I'm in the top 10.
He did, though.
So, and that was pretty cool. So hopefully, all you Twin Galaxies guys will submit it,
Yeah.
and then I'll have my name up there, which will be a mini dream come true and be part of the documentary.
Hey, man, and I mean, like you said, you played it one time, one take, and you beat what? You beat 2 people, right?
Yeah, I beat 2 people.
Yeah.
Assuming it gets
On a not on your
agreed upon,
Sega,
but-
you know.
Yeah.
No, it is. I mean, so you did that like. It's not like you were playing it all day or anything like that.
Yeah,
so
no, it's just
that's
one,
a good start.
one try, and yeah, I tried just like at Christmas time was the last time I went
okay.
and I played. So so Raph, your record's safe, and but you give me a couple more years and a couple more beers, and we'll figure it out.
If you guys have any questions, please just speak up. Stop talking over us, because I know you guys. If you guys have questions for Mikey here about the documentary Pixelated Heroes, please go ahead. We'll ask some general questions that that we've already asked them, but for your benefit.
Yeah, like peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter or jelly.
It's either. It's whatever you have.
Really?
Like, what do you have?
That's cool, man.
Like-
not picky. Not picky.
Well, I was explaining to you guys about ketchup chips.
That's true. Yeah, please explain. I guarantee no one knows what you don't know. You were doing something else at the time.
Okay, what's ketchup?
In
chips?
Canada,
In Canada, the national food most people think is maple syrup, not ketchup chips.
the ketchup potato chips.
Oh,
It's not like they take ketchup and like freeze.
that's
dry
all
it.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I can tell.
That's the one thing. Like where I'm from, ketchup chips is like if it was a real person, it would be the mayor.
That's so weird.
But for you guys, but if for you guys it's a novelty. So hopefully, with NAFTA and all that stuff, and maybe we can get some ketchup chips down here. And
Yeah, I was just saying they
spread the
passed NAFTA in 1995. You'd think we'd have ketchup chips by now.
I know it's like I'd write to your local politician, to school boards, to whoever will listen, and say, "This ain't freedom until you get ketchup
Yes,
chips."
exactly.
Wow.
Freedom ain't free. Either is ketchup
So
chips.
you talked earlier, the documentary's going pretty well. You're going around. I understand you're going to go to EA Sports headquarters in Vancouver, the Canadian version. That sounds awesome. Since we do have a lot of competitor gamers included, is there something possibly in the works later on this year? Or
Yeah, so what
can
I'm
we talk
working on-
about it, or no?
It's a little bit. I did spoil a little bit. I was on the Regina Rock Station a few days ago, and they did an interview. I did kind of spill the beans that we are planning a no holds bar. Everyone in the world welcome to a single location. It's most likely going to be Toronto, and we're going to go. Who's the best NHL 94 player in the world?
Awesome.
Or actually, it's going to be who's the one NHL 94 player in the world that can beat Raph. Is basically.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, because at this point, I mean, really,
So we're going to bring everybody in, and we're going to do it, and it's going to be cool. I mean, I've been planning some pretty cool locations, some special guests, and it's going to be the pinnacle of the documentary. The one thing I wish King of Kong had was a final matchup, and we're going to have that, and it's going to be great, hopefully. But everything's going good, and it's really like an open source project. Like I'm coming here, bumming camera equipment off you guys, and all the help, and getting footage, put it on my hard drive, and I'm like, I don't know, you guys don't have the show here, The Littlest Hobo, where it's just like this dog that goes around and ketchup chips and Littlest Hobo are two Canadian things.
No idea.
So
And-
I mean, I totally know
show,
what you're talking
yeah,
about.
in the show, my
Yeah,
show,
yeah.
Ice Pilots NWT. If you're in aviation in the States, you might have heard of it, but it is kind of it's fairly big in Canada, in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and again, NAFTA has really bunged us on this one, but hopefully you guys can get it, I think, on iTunes.
iTunes here in the States.
Yeah.
There's a
great.
few episodes on YouTube, not supposed to be there, but just to give you a clue, it's a very cool, kind of like American. I don't want to say it is American Chopper, but the format is kind of the same.
So we're
It's really
family.
interesting.
We're a family company running World War II airplanes in the north, the Arctic and the Northwest Territories.
Yeah.
Delivering food and all that stuff
You go to work, deliver food, and come home, play NHL 94. Right?
Yeah,
That's all you do, right?
6 seasons, 73 1-hour episodes,
Dang,
and we
dude, that's
actually
awesome.
just won the Canadian Screen Award for Best Documentary Series.
Nice.
Beating out everybody in Canada, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's great.
So it is only a Canadian award. I'm sorry, guys, but
Hey,
Yeah,
you
so-
said it's popular in Canada, Australia, and the UK.
Yeah.
That means someone in the United States is going to be ripping it off within the next 2
oh no,
years.
it's already been ripped off.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
It's already old news. It's already old news.
Well, that's kind of what we do here.
Yeah, it's now a retro show. So yeah, it's great.
2 years late, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. So excellent, cool. I lost my train of thought.
What?
That's cool. If you guys have any questions, please just let them out, or type them in.
Let 'em out. Don't keep them things in.
Oh, I hear
man.
somebody. Somebody?
What? Serenity now, man.
So look, I got my buddy there, Caton and Tyrell. You see him? He's actually wearing a Cliff Ronning jersey.
I was gonna say it's old school Canucks jersey.
Yeah, and then Tyrell, old buddy from Hay River, he's wearing the hockey hair. I know they have a party to go to because that's what Canadians do. So
Oh, cool.
It's Friday night. It's either you're playing hockey or going to a party, right?
Yeah. So actually, if it wasn't for Caton, I probably wouldn't be this far. He's the one guy that pushed me to do everything and all stuff. And he's a finance guy just like you.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
cool.
And yeah, so he's here and that's awesome, I guess.
Not a guess.
Thanks
that
to your
is awesome. Are you
contribution
kidding?
so far. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so all the original stuff Caton actually filmed on a DSLR, and so yeah. So now I moved on. Caton, he's back in Canada, so
And you've been just doing.
sleeping on couches.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
living in Uber cars. Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, man, that's
Sleeping in
how
the
you do
tundra studio
Yeah.
in here.
Luckily, you're from Canada, so you're used to this cold
Yeah,
weather here.
well,
we've
yeah,
been having.
it was supposed to be the coldest night in Detroit history. I guess.
No, it's the coldest
February
February 27th.
yeah,
or
At
whatever.
-1.
At -1, yeah. And hey, it's cold though, okay? It was negative 16 last week. That was freezing, man. It was horrible.
Right.
Yeah. So what's the average temperature right now back home?
Oh, it's what's that? Just cold. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the thermometers and everything just say cold.
Oh, okay.
They say plug in your vehicle. Do you guys have to plug in your vehicle here?
Diesel vehicles, but not
Yeah.
regular gas
Oh,
vehicles.
okay.
Or, yeah, so. Yeah.
Oh, you guys got global warming, so you don't.
We're good. It's just the U.S.
Oh yeah, Canada hasn't got that yet. We're just about 5 years behind.
So, the one question I have is
That's
with the King of Kong.
Yeah.
Obviously, the King of Kong made the spectrum of competitive Donkey Kong player get big. There was the
Yeah.
Kong Off event, similar to what
Yeah.
you're planning on,
Yeah.
where it brought more than just Billy Mitchell and the few people who submitted to Twin Galaxies. I mean, there's quite a few who submitted for Donkey Kong, but now, I mean, the amount of kill screens we've gotten in the past 5 years is
yeah.
unbelievable. So, do you think by releasing your documentary in a few years that go on, do you think the competitiveness of NHL 94 will be more public? I mean, it's still out there, and you already know that by discovering this film. Do you think it will even grow even more? Like some people who don't know about how many people play this game regularly.
Yeah, I'm really hoping. Raph found out because of one YouTube.
Because of
video.
me. If it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have Raph here.
Oh, yeah, it's all Mike. That's
Yeah,
right.
so you awoken the sleeping giant. We all would have had a chance to be the world record holder.
You would have a chance, yeah.
Nice going.
So yeah, I'm hoping the documentary. Of course, it's what I'm doing is I'm leaning a little bit towards the sports end of it too, because of all the characters and the sports and everything. And I'm really trying to capture what it was like in 1994, and trying to do that. And then the gaming is the future end of it.
Okay.
So it's gonna start off of 1994. What was it like? What was everyone when you got the game for your birthday or Christmas? What was it like? What did you think? And then move on to what are people doing now? Like sort of like the King of Kong, where it's this really fringe amount of people, but the documentary was done so well that it really broke a lot of borders. And
it's still alive to this day.
Yeah,
The Donkey Kong gaming community has not dropped off even remotely. If anything, it's gotten bigger and bigger, and it keeps growing. So, I mean, the more the merrier for NHL 94. That'd be great. I mean, obviously, Mike and I have been playing it since it came out over 20 years ago.
It's our Donkey Kong.
It is our Donkey Kong, but it would be pretty great if...
A yearly tournament.
Oh my god!
Just like the Kong.
It really it would be
It's
great.
awesome.
And I mean, shoot, anymore, I know that, especially just like Donkey Kong, if you were an average Donkey Kong player, always thought you were really good, getting like 300,000 or 400,000. Now you're like, oh, man, you know. And honestly, it's not even a knock with NHL 94. I have a feeling an hour playing some of these people. I mean, Mike is a really great NHL 94 player, as some of you may know already. I bet you an hour playing some of these guys, I'd be like, yeah, maybe I'll just like MC the event or something, because which is cool. I mean, really, because when you really get to see greatness when it comes to that, it's great.
No, you know what? I know I feel like I'm afraid to play too. I mean, I'm gonna play, but what I want maybe in future iterations is the 2-on-2.
Oh,
you know?
same.
You and me.
Oh no, we'd be good again, man.
I think
It'd
we'd
be
be
real
in sync
solid
at that point. You know,
It's
good teammates.
And what's really like part of it was being isolated growing up in the Northwest Territories. I was kind of alone. There's buddies we all play, but I was on the better end, so I was really never had any problems beating everybody. So I went 10, 12 years without even losing. So we're playing and playing and playing, and actually Caton was the first person to beat me in a long time. But part of the thing was I had to go search down Raph and Evan, the creator of NHL94.com, to see what competitive game and online, what kind of skills you get making this game, because it's basically a simple chess-like game, but if you master a few little game bugs, I'm not giving away too much, you can make someone like me, who was a high level in my own mind, go up against some high guys, and then I just look like I just pulled the goalie.
That's awesome.
So, and that was really cool for me, and it's just amazing, and I wish I could talk about more, but
no.
They don't want you to. I don't want you to. I'm plugging my ears.
I have one thing, and it's mainly because you've been doing this for a couple months now, and you're researching and everything. And it would be a totally different aspect of the game, but I've always thought it was cool when it comes to arcade games, like every arcade game from the beginning to really, 20 years on. Obviously, arcade game, if it was big enough, it got translated to a console, whether it be Atari, Television, Nintendo, Sega, or whatever. I always thought it would be kind of cool if you took a console game
and put it in
arcade
arcade.
I was thinking the same thing of making an
NHL 94. Think of how many. Don't get me wrong. Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
it can be.
It would be. I mean, it would be different. But how cool would that be? Especially when you're talking about doing a tournament. I mean, what's great about a Kong-off type tournament, or even going to all the different arcades, is it's loud. You hear the pounding on the buttons and stuff like that. And
people walk around.
People are walking around watching, people standing up watching it. It would be a different aspect to the game. I understand that, but I think it would be kind of like a treat.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And part of the thing I'm planning for, I'll give you a little bit of spoilers, is the final end of it. I may have access to a gigantic HD screen to play the final game.
Oh man!
Like they do in the Tetris. Actually, there's Tetris Champions. They have a thing, and it's a big theater, and it's a cheer fest. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So we're working on it, and I got so much content and so many weird things. Like Jeremy Roenick is going to play a big part in it.
Yeah.
And the allure of Jeremy Roenick, I got Cliff Ronning. He's going to play a good part of it. And then I'm just by the momentum, I'm getting ex-NHL players and the gamers and on stuff, and it's just been amazing. So.
Oh gosh, that's cool. Well, cool. Well, it's exciting. What is there a website or?
Yeah. So basically, the best would be Facebook and just search Pixelated Heroes. There's also my production blog, MikeyTV.com. So MIKEYTV.com. And then Pixelated Heroes. Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. But ultimately, I don't want to give away too much because, I'm so excited. And everyone I work with is like, Mikey, don't tell everybody. But I'm so excited because I'm such a fan of what I'm doing that I wish the documentary was out right now. It's just so much fun.
So excellent, excellent. So cool. And thanks for just stopping by the show, too. It really gives everybody idea like that. So,
and you're going back home tonight, right?
No, tomorrow.
Home?
Oh
Just
yeah.
kidding.
No, we got my dog sled's waiting
Oh,
outside.
that's great, man. That's really
It's all
great.
gassed up.
Canadians.
Yep.
So cool. We'd like to welcome our second. Actually, I got real quick before I bring in Mason. I'd like to thank our sponsor tonight, XSplit,
Yes.
for having their server shut down. So we have this nice watermark
Ooh.
across
Right across my belly.
yeah, the Nick's belly here.
Right
So
here.
thanks to them for providing that watermark and not renewing my night license on time. So it looks even more unprofessional, as many people call me, which is fine because we are amateurs, right? Amateurs
yeah,
to the
we
core. So Mason, how you doing?
You're not an amateur. You're making a movie.
Think you're muted. Hang on. Or we can't hear anybody.
Or are we muted? Hey, we're amateurs, man. What are you gonna do? Well, you don't have any.
Anybody else in
either.
Skype? Oh man.
Ruh-roh.
Yes. No, not that one.
Oh, okay. Which one? I obviously.
Oh man.
Technical difficulties.
Possible technical difficulties.
Hey Neo.
Hello.
Neo.
Can you guys hear it? Oh, no sound. Okay.
Okay. Do you hear us, Sander? I'm assuming. I'm sorry. Let me text him.
Can everybody hear us? Hello, can you hear me?
Recently, I think.
Can you guys hear us at least, or no? Is there no sound at all? Well, they wouldn't be able to hear my question. That's ridiculous. I don't think it's due on your end, Mason. Obviously, he's trying to fix something.
Guys, we're all on our phones.
We're all trying to communicate with Los Angeles. So, I think we have you guys. I think there's something wrong in the LA studio that unmutes your guys' camera. So please, you bear with us. Yeah, we can't hear Mason. Can you guys hear Mason? And anybody else?
Oh yeah, so Caden says he can hear us. So this technical difficulty is brought to you by Labatt Blue.
Oh,
Labatt Blue imported.
it's imported, man.
Yeah, so
we're in the States here.
this is great. This is a lot bigger than you can get in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, in Canada you just got a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can buy those too. Usually they don't sell just the 12-ounce cans here. They sell. I mean, you usually buy either a double deuce 22 or 24 or 25.
Because you guys is
Maybe I'm going to contact
content's a
you
little less,
through
right?
Facebook, and I'm going to kind of just call you directly through the show, since I can't get anybody to unmute you. Or if you really want to quick, just log out, maybe sign into 3-5. Maybe those will be unmuted. Because obviously somebody at the studio is not, or something else is wrong. I'm sorry. I really feel like I don't have control over those.
And we see the Quebec Nordiques there with
Oh, beautiful.
Tyrell there. He's bringing it in there.
Yes!
At the very bottom. Or
Oh,
over
sweet.
here somewhere maybe. I don't know how the screen looks.
What jersey is it?
That's a,
I mean, player.
is there any player, Tyrell, or is that just nothing? No.
No, okay.
No.
I got a Sakic. I was a huge Nordiques fan when I was a kid. Sakic and Eiserman are my two favorite players.
So we'll just get a marker and put Olin Nolan on it or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. Or Guillard.
Yeah,
He finished his career there.
Also, did Claude Lemieux play for the Nordiques? I don't know.
Was he part of the Lindros trade?
No, he was sorry, he was.
He's like radio for 2 here.
Yeah, I know. As much, he was traded. Around the same time as Patrick Waugh was, because they won the cup in '96.
Hey!
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
there
think
we
he did
go.
that. All right.
Testing. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yep,
we can.
absolutely.
It's
Yes.
crystal
All right.
clear audio.
Good
Sorry
stuff.
about
Good
that.
stuff. Nope, that's
Hey,
all right. No biggie.
No, and by the way, congratulations. We'll just do a quick program now. We're speaking with Mason Cramer. He's in TG Life 3. He's not in this little. He's over here. This screen.
over here?
Yeah,
Here?
we're terrible.
Yeah,
at this.
something
That's right. So I know you've been a competitive gamer. My first question is why? Why play 8 hours?
That's a great question. We need to ask everyone that.
I love it. It's art, man. It's my performance art. You know, when I was a kid, I started when I was 3 at the mall, and I always wanted to like get really good. And I'm like 5 years old, and I'm like, I want to be a famous video game player. Granted, I figured that was impossible, but I really like exactly this, is like figuring out how to use my hands to just like throttle games. I love it. It's performance art for me, you know.
Yeah, just like you're a musician too, so I totally get that from my point of view.
Yeah, exactly. I like doing tricks. You know, I like performing and doing tricks for people.
Now, I actually had a score for this because there was some tournament. The referees, I think Patrick Scott Patterson had some NES tournament at some point in time, and I submitted a score, and it was like 500,000. But I played to like level, I don't know, something like maybe 2, 3 or something, and then I died, of course, because it's only one life.
And Mario
right now,
has never been in your game.
No,
so.
Mario. I was just competing in the tournament.
Which is cool.
Well, right here, I know. I mean, this has been known, but the amount of points you're just doing in 1-1 right now. I don't know if you can see it from your screen, but just the turtle jumping and how you know, it's just a pattern. It's just like it blew my mind when I saw it the first time. You know, is that something you did on your own, or is that something that? In a row, right?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Is this something you is there any of these like point turtle jumping things that you discovered, or new ones that you discovered along the game, or you just perfected them?
Yeah, sort of half and half. Some of the techniques that I'm using were developed by a couple of people. We sort of put our heads together. I owe a debt of gratitude to Zio and also Andrew G, who helped. We sort of put our heads together and came up with some of these techniques. In some cases, I'm just using pretty much well-established things, and in other cases, I've sort of had to come up with a way to group turtles or a way to set up the board properly. So a lot of the creative aspect is mine, but the nitty-gritty kind of stuff that we figured out was sort of a team effort.
That's awesome. There's exploring the new, you know, exploring together, and that's what the new Twin Galaxies is kind of about. Is we're just pushing each other to keep finding new ways to get more points, or you know, make it a faster speed run, which is great. I already commented it at the beginning of the show, which I think you heard, is of course this is a great display of skill and art, like you like to say, but the commentary you provided while you were performing this record was to be just as entertaining or more entertaining than the actual score itself. I mean, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
It provides me entertainment when I go to bed.
I'm so glad that hit the mark. You know, I mean, with something that is exactly, you nailed it 100%. That's totally what I want to do. I love being a performer. You know what I mean? And like, so even like I compare gaming to like sleight of hand magic. You know, and I really like Penn and Teller, who tell you exactly how they're doing the trick while they're doing the trick, and somehow it seems cooler in the end. You know, they do the disappearing cup trick with like plastic cups, and it still looks awesome. There's something about that transparency in magic that I think is just so fascinating. So man, I'm glad you were entertained by that, because that was totally my intent. I like being a show, you know what I mean? I like performing, so that I'm just really happy that hit the mark. Thank you, man.
Well, no problem. And I don't know if these comments are sarcastic comments in the chat. I just want to bring up that you're like, well, this is a leech fest. Well, that's what these rules were set up for. There's a few ways you can compete on Super Mario Brothers 3. There's you know, fastest completion with warps, fastest completion without warps. This is a purpose of who can leech the most within the given amount of time with only one life. So there's multiple ways. This is part of the art. This is part, because you know what, you got to do this in a certain amount of time to maximize your time, because you do have a timer, right? And
you have to do it very precisely. Yeah, nothing is unlimited in this. You always have to move on and die at the end of the level. And in some cases, like this turtle group you're showing right now, the 3 turtle group is a pretty standard thing, and you set up 3 shell groups everywhere. But this is being done quickly, and it would be possible to do this more slowly and get less points overall. You know, you're concerned with the time ratio.
Yeah, my favorite, I'm turning it on right now, is in, I think it's 8-4. You almost died, I think, 2 or 3 times right here, where you're doing the billet bulls and the turtle. This was my personal favorite part. I'll try to link what you Facebook messaged me is kind of your favorite part here up in a little bit. When you first started this, I was just like, what are you doing? You got one life. Just kind of milky. You got the world record, but that's what obviously, you know, pushes us further, is to do the best we can.
I practiced this level so much. This level is probably one of the best in the game because of all the stuff you can do with the bullets. There's 4 or 5 other little combos, but this was like the safest and best one to get. I mean, I wanted the 7 million. I was willing to die on this level because after this, there's really nothing. I totally would have just been willing to die, but I didn't. You know, I was in a cold sweat, man. I was like just shaking, like 7 million. Oh god, you know.
I was gonna say, this level, obviously, level 8 in Mario 3 is brutal. I have trouble just beating that level right there, let alone trying to get points out of it. So that's incredible, man.
I'm glad you like it, man.
I have to ask you, obviously, this is a very long world record. I guess
8 hours.
Yeah, 8 hours is pretty long. I consider it very long. Was there any point where, obviously, this is towards the end, but was there any point where you were kind of like, oh man, you're like just real dogging?
Oh man, yeah. This run actually only took about, I think, just under 4 hours. I spent the whole video is about 5.5 hours, and I spent about an hour and a half screwing up at the beginning. But once you get out of World 4, which is huge for points, you get into World like 5 and 6. 5, the top in the sky world with all the ways you can fall down and die. All the way from 5 towards the end of 7 was just like just a grind because none of the levels are very good for points, and it's just you just gotta beat them, and you put yourself in a lot of situations where you could die right away. So I mean, the whole way from like the middle of World 5 to the end of World 7 was just that was the hardest part because there's no payoff and you're just kind of getting through it.
No, this video is just some of the tricks. Obviously, I mean, there's tricks in regular and Super Mario Brothers as well, but I've never considered using the leaf to that benefit before. I never thought about it for a point thing, especially when you were hitting the bullets with your tail too. That's just ballsy.
Yeah, would you kind of like would you like me to explain how that works?
Sure,
yeah, absolutely.
There's a reason. It's okay. You know, in Mario, right, when you jump on enemies, right, and you get a bounce combo, right? So the first hit's 100, 200, 400, and right, and you get all the way to 1-ups, right? And that's like a little counter. What happens is that at any point, the value for smacking something with your tail is stuck 1 notch higher than what your bounce combo is at. So the reason I can get double 8,000s like right here in this clip is because when I bounce off something on the 4,000 point node, anything I tail smack until I advance the combo again will be worth 8,000. That's why that big fish trick works, and that's why doubles work, and it's one of the ways to get like a ton of points, and that's actually what I'm doing in this clip right now.
Oh, was that something you figured out by chance, or was it something else that someone else did?
Yeah, that had been around. I believe it was actually Zio on the Twin Galaxies forums that figured out doubles, but I figured out situations to use it and ways to work it into combos that hadn't been done before, but it actually wasn't my principle, so to speak.
No, that's great. How long have you been working on this?
Well, I started working on this in about August of 2013, and by December of 2013, I had got a 5.9 million point run, which I did submit, and I had skipped the Fire Brothers in World 2, and I did that on purpose, but it was accidentally on purpose because I had misinterpreted the rules to assume that was optional, and it wasn't. So then I got disqualified, and rightfully so. And at that point, you know, it was just time to go back and do another one. So when it looked like that run wasn't going to make it, I started working on this one again and managed to throw some new stuff in.
No, that's great. Was this a one-time? I mean, did you try it like the day before and you didn't get it, or was it like you worked up to it? I'm trying it.
This was because I mean, if I'm going to sit down and stream something, especially something like this where I can be pretty confident that I know what I'm capable of. I hadn't tried to stream this at all. This was, you know, when I sat down this day, I was going to sit down and break the world record now. This was my personal best score. Before that, my personal best had been 6.5 million. So I had actually sat down and done this entire deathless run just with no one watching by myself, but I had screwed up more. So when I got this run, it was actually the best that I'd ever done in any capacity on the run.
God, that's
and
great.
It could be improved upon.
That was my next question. I was going to say, what do you think? What is your next goal? You want to think you can get to 8?
I know for a fact that 8 million is possible, and I'm willing to bet that if I would go through and do the math, I actually dropped at least 500,000 points in this run. Now you could start kind of really optimizing and coming up with sort of nickel and dime strategies where, okay, I get an extra 1,000 here, an extra 10,000 here, which doesn't really add up to much when you're going for millions. I really believe that 8 million is totally possible. It would take a heck of a run, but I'm going to let it sit for a little while, maybe generate some interest on the run. At this point, I don't believe that the game would max out. 9 million, maybe, I don't even know. But to get the extra 9 to 10 million, I'm not sure. There just doesn't seem to be enough high-scoring levels, and Worlds 6 and 7 are pretty dead, except for some real touchy things that I didn't. I think I screwed up in 7-1 and some other places. So I don't think it'll max out, and that's the reason why I'm content to kind of let an unfinished score like this kind of sit. Because even if it does get beaten, this run can stay competitive for a long time into the future, even if it comes down to tens of thousands of points,
No, exactly.
No, that's
Just like I let Raph, if he's still watching. That's why I just let him have it for a while.
oh, definitely. It's just better.
Do you have any questions, Mikey? I know.
Oh, just like that's just amazing. Yeah, Mario Brothers 3 being one of the most popular games of all time. I thought I would have some questions, but everything was answered.
Nick sucked them up.
Everything was answered right on the screen, right there. That's an amazing job, man. That's crazy.
Is there any, obviously, I assume this is the game that you spend the most time, especially for the last 18 months. Is there any other games you're thinking about trying to go for? Are you keeping that under wraps, or?
No, not entirely. And I wasn't really practicing when I got the 5.9 million in December of 2013. I wasn't really still constantly working on that run. When I figured that run would be pretty solid, and when it got disqualified, it was kind of like, oh, bummer. So it wasn't. I guess it wasn't a solid 18 months, but in the future, definitely, I'm really thinking about. I was going to do the Super Buster Brothers on Super Nintendo, the Panic Mode score. I would definitely like to go for that. I was going to do it the other night. But I found a run on YouTube that was, I think, 154,000, and I was getting about 108. And even though that run isn't submitted anywhere, it's there, so I kind of feel like I don't want to submit a score lower than that. So I'm definitely going to try for Super Buster Brothers. I was also thinking about Balloon Fight on NES. I've been to 1.3 million. Love it. Love Balloon Fight. And definitely some stuff on the Atari that I'd really like to do. I'd really like to go and get that Centipede record again on Atari, and figure out some other Atari stuff. Maybe not. There's some stuff that I'd like to put up scores for that, it might not be the world record, but it would be a pretty good run. So I don't know. I'm just kind of probably some Atari and definitely Super Buster Brothers for sure.
Excellent repertoire from one of the greatest gamers in our era, console gamers in our era, is my opinion of you. I love seeing your name come up. I'm just like, especially now that it's the new Twin Galaxies verification system. Yeah. Like we talked about on our show, it's so enjoyable that there's that new angle of Twin Galaxies where everybody can see how well you really are, instead of submitting a VHS tape and only if you put it publicly out there. It gets out there and it creates interest and it makes it more fun. I'm sorry, just the new system. It opens up new. Oh, you can do this. That's so sweet. I can never do what Mason does, but that's the enjoyment of chasing these world records.
Well, and it does. It opens it up, and that is why this new system, I think, is great, because you don't have to see someone who maybe 2 months got a world record. In the past, you'd be like, oh, okay, are they really getting these records? Do they know somebody? Or now it's like, hey, you see it.
Yeah,
you can see everything, and even if it's like, how could they get that score? Like this score, you can actually go, oh, crap, that's how we got it. That's unbelievable. Like, how did we figure that out? So,
anybody else got any questions in the chat? I apologize, so please put them in if you got them, or come into the Skype.
I find what's best for the message board is just to read one random message from someone and try to decipher what they're talking about. Boom. What do you think that is? Like, do you think those that are like a gunshot in his neighborhood?
Okay.
Did a balloon just get popped? Or
I know it takes a.
No. So, he disagrees with that.
No. Next week, Brian. Sorry, I didn't get. I ran out of time to make. If that is Brian, it'll probably be on next week's show. I didn't have enough time to make the graphic. I know that was kind of completely off subject, but I saw a question, I answered it.
You're playing the game correctly. You read a random line.
I ran a random question. Yeah. So cool. Did you have any questions, Mason, for Mikey here or no?
Yeah, sure. What is it? Maybe talk a little bit, man. I mean, as a player, you know, what is it about NHL 94 that makes it more balanced? What's special about it? What kind of, is it just really balanced mechanics? Does it just, the stats are really balanced? Why that one from a gameplay perspective? You know, not necessarily the big cultural.
You know what? You keep asking us questions. What about your perspective?
And NHL 94 is just this weird combo where the game before it wasn't as good and the game after it wasn't as good. I don't want to get too much into that because that is,
we can talk about that for a while.
That is kind of a twist and turn within the documentary itself. Yeah. But the proof's in the pudding. Regardless of the answer, there's guys all around the world playing NHL 94. No one's really playing NHL 95. There's a little faction playing NHL 93. Great game. It's I don't know. It's a beautiful question. And just like say, why is Mario Brothers 3 so good? You know, it's better than Mario Brothers 2. It's more advanced than Mario Brothers 1.
Yeah.
And there was no Mario Brothers 4 in that system. Yeah. And it's kind of the same thing, and it's just a beautiful question, and that's why there's no real answer. Why is the Mona Lisa in the Louvre and not my paintings from grade 2? It's just like, and they're good paintings. Like art, yeah, they're beautiful. They were banned, but they were beautiful.
Well, you know,
but it's art is very suggestive, right? And video games are too. And, you know, actually watching the Angry Video Game Nerd, his movie, did you watch the movie that came out?
I did, yes.
And the one thing that really surprised me in that movie was, for as long as I can remember, everyone was bad-mouthing E.T. And then the twist at the end of the movie, let's ruin it right now, is it wasn't that bad of a game.
No.
But its allure was bad.
Yeah.
I should have said spoilers, but
yeah, there are so many games that are not as bad as that are worse than E.T. Even back then.
Oh, look! I said there's my roommate Dewey the dog there. He's a Calgary Flames fan, as you can see, right? He's yes. Oh, look! I said there's my roommate Dewey the dog there. Oh yeah, old Dewey there. Yeah, he's a killer, that guy. But yeah, he loves pizza and flames.
Good things to like.
Yeah, he's about the same size as Fiore, so that is a legitimate field jersey.
But can he score you 8 goals in NHL 94?
Yeah, he's getting pretty good.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
For a species with no.
Hey guys.
That's awesome.
Hey.
Hey, you guys have 1 minute left.
Oh, thanks. So, Mason, thank you so much for joining us and showing your video. And everybody watch it in the accepted section on Twin Galaxies. Thank you, Mikey, for coming by.
Yeah, definitely.
Check out Pixelated Heroes on Facebook, Twitter. You guys know how to use Google. I don't need to explain that. Next week, we'll be back reading some more world records.
Yep.
Thank you, Mason, once again.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Anything else
you want to say?
Thank you for
having me. I really appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you so much. And that's pretty much it.
I think that's it, man. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Stay tuned for Jace Hall and State of the Galaxies. I'm Ron Burgundy. Because I don't know if it's going on. Because last week we didn't know. If you are, stick around. You want to answer your questions about Twin Galaxies and the rules and the drama on the forum, stick around.
Yeah, stick around regardless. See you.